our mail trucks, all that's going to be electric. That's what a lot of this money that just got okayed by Biden was about, making that type. Our buses are going to be electric. A lot of stuff we've needed for a long time around here, it's coming, but it's going to take time to implement it. You
They
know,
got the
it's
gas
not going to be
buses right
overnight.
now.
Yeah,
Hey, they
You
got
said
the
what?
buses right now that run on gas.
Well,
Not
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
not like
They're
fuel
gonna make
gas.
those
I mean
electric.
like clean gas.
Oh, you mean like natural gas?
Yeah. There you
Like that?
go. Yeah, they
Yeah,
got buses
yeah.
right now that run off natural gas.
Some of that. So that's
that
yeah.
thing, what's natural gas, man?
You know, like when they're fracking, when they
You
get natural,
joking,
like
right?
the gas that heats up your house.
Oh, you talking about fracking? Ain't
My
fracking
man is joking.
dangerous? Don't fracking? Can't fracking blow up our crust underneath us and cause massive earthquakes and shit?
You know what? I've researched that, and it depends on either side. If you talk to people who sit on the right, who are Republicans, they'll tell you that that's a lot of hoopla. That a lot of people push, and fracking has been done since the '50s, and it isn't going to hurt anything, and it's just a new natural gas, and we should be excited about it. If you talk to some people on the left, you'll hear stories about people's water coming out and being able to be flammable, like catching on fire. You know,
Wow.
so and I've seen those documentaries. So it depends on what side you're looking at. It's like
Wow.
every other issue. There's people on
When you
both
try to
sides who'll say
boil
why it's
water,
good
it
or
ain't
bad. So
you boil some
mm,
water, everything blow up in the
oh
kitchen.
yeah. Well, and too, when you do fracking, they were saying that fracking really messes up the ground and the area around where you're fracking. So they were saying that people in the neighborhoods where they're going to be fracking should probably get some money, some type of offset funds, because it's going to tear up the ground in the neighborhood fracking for this natural gas. I heard. So yeah, yeah. But that is true. There's that. That's so that's coming on, but that's going to take a little while. Democrats, they need to deal with their messaging because they still look good losing in 2022. I talked about on my show how there was a poll done, and basically like 51% of people said that if right now we were voting, they would vote for the Republican in their district. And 40, and 40 some percent said they'd vote for the Democrat. But basically, more people saying they'd vote Republican than would vote Democrat. There's a lot of reasons for that. I think a big reason of it is because the Republicans were able to create a boogeyman called critical race theory and the 1619 Project, and they got a lot of people going off of that, and it's just ridiculous. A lot of people don't even know what the 1619 Project is. They definitely don't know what critical race theory is.
What
Critical
is
race theory
critical
isn't
race
even
theory?
being taught until you get to the college level. What's up, Justice? What'd you say?
What is critical race theory? They come up with all kinds of stuff. What is
And
this?
And see, that's the thing. Critical race theory, all that is it's a graduate level class or graduate level trainings that just talk about race as far as it goes in our society and stuff like that. Nothing that's being taught in a high school. But the right has people really thinking that, has people being amped up off of it. People have won elections all about based on this CRT, which isn't even being taught in schools, but they've told people it is, so they're scared about it. So now it's a thing. And the what I'm saying, Democrats need to go out there and let people know that A, it's not a thing. B, even if it was, it's nothing to be afraid of. That's what I said to my conservative friend. How about this? They're not teaching CRT in high schools, critical race theory. But if they were, would it be such a bad thing? Because all it is a little true history. That's it. There's nothing in critical race theory that all of us don't already know anyway. This is just kind of filling in the blanks. So they need to, but the Democrats, they need to go out here and tell people that, because if you don't tell people that, then people believe all the stuff the Republicans say, and that's how you end up losing in 2022. Now, I'm
So
not
they
a
want
Democrat or a Republican, but usually when Democrats are in power, more is done for distressed communities and minorities. So that is what it is. So a lot of time my allegiances lie to the left. But if the left does want to not get blown out, they need to do a better job of messaging. Their messaging sucks. That's what Bill Maher said. They need a messaging czar. I agree. They need a, because the right hate you. Republicans are always been some snake oil salesmen. They are. That's what they do. But they are amazing at their messaging. Nobody gets a message out or talks to people like Republicans. They are way better at the game of politics, and that's why they win like they do a lot of the time, because their messaging is, like I said, they created that CRT boogeyman because that's not even really being taught in high schools, but they got people thinking it is messaging.
what? Oh, they want. I don't get it. Do people want this taught in high school? They do. I mean,
Well, they're afraid of it because this is supposed to be like even the 1619 project. All that was like it was a collection of true accounts of slavery. But the New York Times published it, and a lot of people got afraid of that because if these are real accounts of slavery, then that means slavery really happened, right? So, there are people who I guess are appalled at the fact that people actually know that this slavery thing was real, and there were people who lived. There are people right now living with it, and there are people who lived through it. So
know that slavery was a thing. They wanted to go.
And I mean, and they know this. That's the thing. Years ago, when I would have a conversation with maybe say a person in their 20s, and they were spitting all this racial stuff, I would tell them some older person has gotten in your ear because you in your 20s. There's no way you could have all this animosity towards people of color. You're not old enough. You're not old enough to have this hate. Somebody gave you this hate.
They're so colorful.
All of that. Oh yeah, somebody gave you that. You didn't come with that on your own. But then come to find out that they said the biggest consumer of podcasts are kids who are under 20. So a lot of these young kids are listening to these podcasts. Some of these podcasts are ran by neo-Nazis. They're ran by white supremacists. They're ran by Steve Bannon. I mean, these are literally the guys who are the racist guys who are spewing this stuff. So these kids are getting it from the source. So that is another reason that we need critical race theory taught in the schools. These kids, they're getting it. You know what they're getting? They're getting a podcast from some neo-Nazi person. And some of these older white folks, they're not even going to know why their kid is a raging racist. How did this happen? Because you left him alone in the basement and you just thought he was gaming. Nah, when he wasn't gaming, he was going over to somebody's podcast and hearing all types of crazy stuff about brown and black people. You feel what I'm saying?
He ain't calling me a nigger and telling me
exactly.
Like, hey, Kid Justice, shut your big flapping jigaboo lips, nigga. Man,
like, what is that?
Look, I don't know about critical race theory. I know Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus. I got called nigga a lie, bro.
Oh hell yeah!
And
hell yeah! PlayStation. Hey, listen. It be some little ass kids too. Like I'm telling you, like little ass kids talking that shit.
Last month, the kid was like this. We playing Call of Duty. Young ass kid. He's like, "Hey, can I say nigga?"
What,
bro?
What is that?
Bro,
what? No, you cannot.
Hey, that's exactly what I said. I was like, man, what is that? I told him to shut up. I be cussing kids out, bro. Hey, shut your dumb ass up. Don't ask us nothing else. Just shoot.
Yeah, Thank you. Just play the game and don't talk no more. Man, you talking no more. But see, that's the thing.
That's what these kids America was really racist. Like, it wasn't just a bunch of old people or a small group of people. I realized there's a large group of racist people. Probably 60% of the whites are racist. At least more than half guaranteed. Look, man, every came in. Cats would say racist stuff. Cats would not defend. You ain't see no social justice. Shut up. Blah, blah, blah. They would laugh or they would stay quiet. The only cats who would be talking stuff is Hispanics and blacks. You'd be like, you roast the hell out of these cats. But, man, look, man. Racism, immediately as soon as you come in, these cats would be on it. Man, you gonna need to trash. You like, hey, y'all got two on me. Oh, shut up, nigga. Shut up.
You're like, what in the world? Yeah.
Hey, bro.
See,
man, I didn't help
the thing.
Battlefield. Like, don't touch me, nigga. You mad?
And these kids, they're obviously getting it. You know what I'm saying? They're getting it, like I said, through these podcasts and some of this other stuff. So you already know that these kids are getting that racist message. Why would you not want to combat it in school by telling them the real history? By just keeping it real with them. Like, man, you don't.
There's no point in trying to teach them something that they already know, and they really are acknowledging it by being racist.
But you know what? Now, believe it or not, sometimes white people don't know these things. I years ago, I was working in Hilliard, and I was having a conversation with probably about 5 or 6 white guys and me about race. But it was very interesting, very interesting and very educational. One, they told me that they knew that watermelons were racist, and chicken and fried chicken. They knew that was racist. They said, Ed, we don't know why, but I just know that's disrespectful and racist. So I told them why. You know what I'm saying? I talked about the Birth of a Nation, that movie, and I talked about how at one point black people were rich from selling watermelon, and how it was a seed that was in the pockets of slaves when they were on the boats, and then that's how they were able to grow the fruit here, and how it was a delicious fruit and all that stuff, and just stuff they didn't know. They knew that a lawn jockey was racist. They didn't know why. So I told them the story about how that was a slave who worked for George Washington, and that little black boy, he died holding that light in the night. He really froze to death. So when you see that lawn jockey, that's making fun of him. They didn't know these things. So you got to think about it. Believe it or not, a lot of white people, a lot of these racist tropes, they know it's racist. They know it's offensive, but they don't know why. How about this? A lot of us don't know why, do we? A lot of us don't know why these things are the way they are. This is why we need critical race theory taught in schools, but we don't. It's not even being taught in school. But that's my point. If it were, it wouldn't be a bad thing, because some of this stuff I'm talking about, us as black people, we don't even know.
I ain't no lawn jockey. That lawn jockey is some messed up stuff, bro. I'm looking up these pictures. What kind of messed up crap is this?
Yeah.
Why is he holding this light out for George Washington?
He was a slave, and when George Washington was on that boat coming across that river, that iconic picture that you see, when he was that his slave was holding the light so he could see where to come. He froze to death holding that light in the dark for his NASA. For George Washington. Our first president who died owning 1,000 slaves.
And there's people that got them in their yards and shit. There's a lot of people down here that got them. There's a lot of people that got them in their yards down here where I'm at.
Oh yeah, and some of them probably know this stuff I'm telling you. A lot of them probably don't. They probably don't even know, because we don't teach this history in school. And I said it on my show, and I say it on this show. When we do not teach this history, we're what? Doomed to repeat it. And that's what's going on now. We're repeating this racist history because we don't teach it. We don't teach it. So we're going to do nothing but continue to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, because we refuse to deal with it as a country. We refuse to talk about it. We refuse to teach it. So
hey, look at DJ.
But he's no.
He's done. Like, I got 4 more minutes left. Look at him counting down.
Go ahead and close us out, man.
I was listening to I was listening to this radio program. I don't know if y'all familiar with 7 WLW in Cincinnati. 700.
Sounds familiar. 700, maybe I've heard that. Yeah.
And you ever listen to that station, man, and listen how it's real. I think it's a very prejudiced station at the end of the day. I swear to God, man, they say so many things that or they don't get it,
Yeah.
And then the black people that do call in, they kind of ride with what they're saying. One of them was WLW. It's a radio station in Cincinnati. It's like the biggest powerful radio station damn near in the country.
What?
You can hear WLW shit across the country pretty much.
Man,
they're like they're like 1 million watts or something. They're huge. Well, it was the guy said that why is it that every time somebody does something and it's relating to black, it's considered racist, but when it's a white guy that does it, it's not. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. He's saying, why is it okay that if okay, example, the brother that drove down through all those white people in was it Wisconsin? They're trying to say that it wasn't racist. He wasn't a racist. He didn't, and that's okay. But if it had been a white guy going down through a bunch of black people, it would have been considered racist.
Oh, he got to ask.
Either way, it wasn't right.
That ain't got shit to do with us.
It don't have nothing to do with it. It ain't got nothing to do with it. It don't make no sense. Why even bring that up? It don't have nothing
he need to go talk to his own white people that make the rules.
Brother is just crazy. How about that? He just lost. He's crazy.
Is crazy or racist. I don't know.
But
so what happened? Did a black dude drive through a crowd of white people, or is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, it sounds like an accident. I mean, was he drinking
or
or
when they blew up our churches and murdered our city?
No, he wasn't racist though, was he? The guy who went into the black church
don't care.
and shot all those black people.
They can label him racist if we want.
I don't give a shit if he was racist or not. It was fucked up and it was wrong. Who gives a shit? It's fucked up and wrong. Whether they white or they black, it's fucked up and wrong. Why bring it up?
Look, all black racist against white people at this point. We don't have much of a choice. We can't be friendly. We can't hold our hands.
Yeah, they can't relate the fact that it's just
look.
They can't accept the fact that it is a racist world right now. It's just that's just the way it is, and more than likely that's the way it is.
They deliver stuff to us all jacked up since the beginning of time. And yo, man, at this point, man, I would be surprised if a black dude goes on a killing spree and murders hundreds, thousands, millions of white people. Bro, y'all be pushing the envelope on people, bro. Listen, yeah, we probably could be racist, but we ain't starting this shit, man. At this point, it's a eye for an eye.
Kind of like last week when you was tripping over the fact that you thought that the one dude went in and killed black people, but he was actually killing a bunch of white. He killed his own race, so it's okay now, huh?
The Kyle Rittenhouse,
but it ain't right either way.
I ain't saying
the dude's crazy.
I ain't say none of that. I'm just saying, hey, none of our business. Let them and their judicial system fix that shit. Let them figure all that shit out. Let us keep working on what we doing. We put too much energy into white people fighting each other. We can't do nothing about that. We barely. We got to fight. We got to worry about our people fighting each other and fighting them as well, bro. Then now we want to. Hey man, let's also chime in on them fighting each other. Whoa.
All I can say about the brother is that if he was prejudiced, why did he go knock on that white man's door and not kill him? After he did that, he went to that white dude's door and was like, I'm called an Uber. I don't know the whole story, but then in the same story that I heard, he had robbed a bank and he got scared and he was panicking and he just started running through the crowd. He got scared and he started running through the crowd to get away, and he ended up running over those people. Then he ditched the car and then he knocked on the white dude's door and talking about, I have an Uber coming. And if he was prejudiced, wouldn't he have killed him too? No. I think the dude's just crazy. He was just crazy.
What it sounds like to me, I think he's just mentally ill. Some mental illness going on.
Yeah, white people, let's get that one on him. Give us that mentally ill, because he's definitely. How many people he hit? He definitely sick in the head. We can't help you.
He killed 3, but he hit like shit.
Wounded a lot more.
A lot more, yeah.
Shit, man. That's
how and one of them was a kid. That's how one of them was a kid.
Look, they walk up on us with AKs and stuff. It shoot cats and blow cats up in churches while they praying.
That was self-defense.
When they say, "Yo,
you fell."
What he say? Self-defense.
That's what old boy got off for self-defense, right?
He's like Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, he did.
Hey man, he's in attack by white people. He already find them crazy. They on the wrong side of the fence.
Well, you know what? How about I'll just say that a guest that we've even had on the show, I won't say his name, but me and him, we still have plenty of political discussions, and he had brought up the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and he was saying that to me, and I said to him, well, I don't think people who don't have guns can be threat to people who do have guns. You know what I'm saying? Kid's got a chopper on his back. Were any of them guys a threat to him? None of them had choppers. But then he comes back to me and he had said something about it was shown that there was 250 pounds of force and a bat that could be wielded by an MLB protester. I'm like, are you serious? So are you equating the force from me swinging a bat to a chopper that you might have on your back, an M16 on your back? But this is, see what I'm saying? This is how silly this thing gets with these people. Looking for a way to rationalize, which is blatant racism. I mean, come on, man. How do you even do that? How do you even equate a person with a bat to a person with a submachine rifle on their back? There's no equating there. If that person with that gun kills that other person, they were wrong. They have the gun. What am I missing? You know, I don't.
Myself. It's like, hey, bro, hey, bro, put that gun down. Put that away. We ain't trying to start. Pow.
Yeah. I mean, how can you equate that?
The kid was so good. The other cat tried to pull his gun out and shot his arm off. He's like, oh, shit, this cat could shoot. He's like, yeah, I'm from Wisconsin, bitch.
I'm from Wisconsin. I mean, come on. You know,
black people knew this. Oh, they trying to get us killed. That nope. Black people did this. Woo!
I'm out of here. White dude with a gun.
Like,
the white, so that's why they got shot because they approached him. Wait a minute. Let me help you. Brother was like, oh, I'm out.
Hey, they seen that chopper. Brother saw the chopper and went the other way.
You know how white people be. This all my haters.
Bow. And you know, okay, so now that went on with the with okay, there was that Cal, Rittenhouse trial, but then the Ahmaud Arbery trial. There was some gentlemen from the Black Panther Party doing a march outside that trial. I talked about that on my show. These were some brothers, and they were armed, and they let it be known in the vernacular of the day. They said that they will pull up whenever anything happens with Black and brown people, and they said that they weren't tolerating the deaths of Black and brown people anymore. Yeah, I was impressed with that. I was like, whoa, yeah. There was it's the new Black Panther Party, and it's some other people. I talked about it on my show. Check out Urban Politics. I talked about it on the show, though. Yeah, but yeah, they were outside marching while that Ahmaud Arbery trial was going on. Now, I'm not saying that's the reason why these guys were acquitted and if things turned out good like it did, but that was some of the support that was outside of the court that day. And then these brothers also talked about how they said that they were about responsible gun ownership for the whole Black community. And they said that they were going to start going from state to state, all 50 states, holding classes on responsible gun ownership. Yeah.
I mean, in Ohio yesterday, bro.
I was blown away. I was like, okay, what do y'all think about that, though? Do y'all agree with that? Responsible gun ownership for the Black community? Is that what we need?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. half of us already got guns. So what?
Yeah, I agree. Well, at least this will be responsible gun ownership. A lot of my partners got guns. We think it'd be responsible.
Yo, I got a gun, but bro, that ain't how you supposed to get it. We're supposed to actually go get a license.
I think every house. I don't even know. I think every house need to have a gun in it.
Yeah.
I would say we're almost there in the hood if we're not already there. You think really?
As long as you safe with it with the kids and shit,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
okay, so like gun locks and stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody should have a gun. So that way it stop crime. Once everybody find out, now everyone got guns now. Now nobody getting their house broken into. Now cats ain't pushing up on nobody. Because you know what? Grandma strap, Bryson strap, my little strap. So you might want
you think twice about robbing a cat. You know what I'm saying?
I remember having a conversation with some of my family from the South, and I talked to my cousin. I was like, man, I don't like how y'all live so stretched out around here. And he said, well, and I said, I like living in the city because at least you live around other people. If something happened, you yell, somebody here. My cousin said, cuz we want it like that. He said, that's why you got your unit on you. We wish somebody would roll up on us in the South. That's why I got my gun on me. I wish somebody would roll up. And I remember this my grandma. Oh yeah, my grandma had a gun. All my cousins got guns. My aunts got guns. That's a Southern thing, but that's probably why. Because in the South, you're gonna be far from everybody. You might be real far from the police. So you got that gun. There's your protection. So I get it. That might. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing wrong with that. I've never thought that way, but I'm changing my mind to thinking that way. I can understand that.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Hey fellas, I got 3%.
I'm about to go back to streaming. Man. Watch me, man.
Hey, well, I'm gonna make sure to get that confirmation for tomorrow, man. I'm gonna put it in the chat. It's on.
All right.
Oh, okay.
All right. If anybody just tuning in, thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow, special guest, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
All right, peace.